Welcome, Emily Youngdahl Wright, to the Wilmot Institute's live web broadcasts over our Facebook page here at the Parliament of the World's Religions.
Thank you.
And we're delighted that you've been able to do this. And of course, we're extremely delighted that you were able to arrange to take our courses through the United Theological Seminary. So that, to me, is one of the really exciting developments, really, in all of Wilmot Institute history. Maybe you should tell us a little bit about how you decided to go there, how you decided to become a chaplain, and how you decided to contact the Wilmot Institute. Can you do that?
I can. So, I just graduated from United Seminary of the Twin Cities. And
June 2018.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Basically.
And I'm now working as a resident chaplain at United Hospital in St. Paul.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to become a chaplain so that I could be with people who were suffering and maybe with families as family members were dying, or individuals who are dying alone without family there. I've been with family and friends as they have died and sung with them. And it just was something I really wanted to do. I didn't know if Baha'is could do it. And so I found an Interfaith Chaplaincy program, and it happened
Near
to be
you.
just down, in the town right beside me. And so I started taking courses there. And after a while, I thought, wow, I'm not really learning anything about the Baha'i faith here, which,
Makes
it's a
sense.
seminary. They're not obligated to teach me about the Baha'i faith. But I thought, I wonder if one of those Wilmot Institute courses would work. I had taken one with my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to take one on mysticism, and so I was her scribe, Lorraine Wright. And
that was like 2013 or 14.
It was a while ago.
A few back.
Well,
years
it
back
was like
before.
2010 or something.
2010.
Yeah. And so I wondered, and so I called you.
Yep.
And
A little before Halloween, if I remember. It was in late October of 2016.
Must have been 2016, right? Yeah. So I started at the seminary in 2015.
Right.
And after a year, I thought, I'm not going to survive here if I can't take some Baha'i courses. And so I asked you, and you contacted the seminary.
Well, you contacted the seminary first.
Oh, that's true. I asked the seminary, and I asked you.
In the conversation we had, I said, talk to your advisor, talk to the registrar, and find out what could be arranged. Then I went out on errands, came back 3 hours later, and it had all been arranged. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not imagine how quickly that happened.
They were so excited about the idea of me being able to get my needs met, and they were really aware that they were not meeting my theological needs.
Sure.
And that another course studying a faith as beautiful as Christianity is not the faith that I follow.
Sure.
And so continuing to take course after course after course in Christianity was not going to help me be a chaplain.
Right.
Especially not a Baha'i chaplain.
Right.
Or a chaplain who is a member of the Baha'i faith, I guess is what I should say.
Right.
Yeah. And so then at that same time, I was contacting the Office of Community Administration for the Baha'is to ask, is it okay if I become a chaplain? And they said, keep studying, we'll get back to you.
Yeah. They weren't sure.
No, they weren't sure. And so then as I was getting ready to graduate, I got a letter from the National Spiritual Assembly saying, you're our test case, and let us know how this goes. And we're not making a decision, but we're saying you can go ahead and try this and keep us updated. And through the Wilmot Institute, I was able to take 6 graduate level courses, which was so fantastic.
Yep.
And you made that happen.
Yep.
And the university, the seminary, made it all work as a degree.
Yep. Fantastic. And we even were able to give you a 3-credit course in chaplaincy, Baha'i chaplaincy, through Wendy Momin.
That's right. I went to England. I went to
UK.
England, and I visited with Barney Leith and Wendy Momin, and I got to meet some chaplains there that are part of the National Health Service, and I learned about the chaplaincy program there and how they created an inter-religious chaplaincy program, which
their people don't get paid, though, right?
They are they're volunteers
volunteers.
mostly. Yeah. Yep.
Whereas in the States, people can be paid.
They can be paid.
Do it.
Yes, they can be paid. Yeah.
Well, I of course, was absolutely amazed and delighted when you called, because we've been looking for an opportunity to have a breakthrough and have a place that wanted to do courses on the faith and give somebody credit. And of course, you even arranged for two of your friends to take
I did.
one course.
I did.
So that was even better. And they even enjoyed the course and did pretty well, if I remember right. So I was really quite impressed by that too.
Yeah.
So that really was exciting.
I sort of feel like, the energy was there for this to happen with the bicentenary of Baha'u'llah's birth. And the seminary was really wonderful. And I think earlier today you interviewed Dr. Ayo, who was very excited about having Baha'i Days.
She still was.
And
today.
I feel like the energy of Shoghi Effendi and Baha'u'llah were so present in this process of trying to make this happen. And I don't think it was a coincidence that it all happened right around the bicentenary of Baha'u'llah.
Well, I think it was also not a coincidence that you were the person to lead to the breakthrough, because you had the right combination of determination, patience, articulateness, spiritual energy. I mean, I real sensed when I was at the seminary that you were valued and you were part of the seminary and you were welcomed there and that you were making a contribution that they appreciated. That was my impression anyway. And that might not be necessarily the case with anybody else initially who'd start that whole thing. I always felt a little bit like an outsider at Harvard Divinity School.
I mean, I think United Theological Seminary is a very welcoming place in the Twin Cities, and I do think that their encouragement of me and their nurturing of me, whether or not another Baha'i ever goes there, was very moving to me. And to be able to put the Wilmette Institute in contact with them was just like a gift.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we can continue the connection there. Now we have to have more Baha'is who are interested in considering either just a degree in religious studies through them with a sort of concentration of 6 Baha'i courses or a degree in chaplaincy or something.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That would be awesome.
It would be.
Hopefully that will happen.
Yep. Now tell us about the role of music in your chaplaincy, because you brought your ukulele. People can't see it very well. There it is. And music is very important to you. You've done an album. You did music in the programs, the devotional programs at United that I attended. Tell us about your music and the role of music in your life and in your new career.
Okay, so I've been a musician most of my life, and one of the things that I do is set prayers to music and poetry to music. And as a chaplain, as I was listening to patients talk about their story and their life and their questions, I started setting those things to music.
As well.
And so one of the things that I did here at the Parliament was I presented what I call a ukulele opera called A New Cup of Grace.
I'm sorry I missed it. I would have loved to have gone.
It's okay.
I was running the booth.
Yeah, I know. So I made a little traveling box with dolls in it that have like a little chaplain doll that's me, and a little tiny ukulele, and a little patient, and a little tiny IV pole, and sang some of the songs that I wrote for the patients that I've worked with. So I brought my ukulele. I don't know, it's quite noisy in here, but we could try to see if we could do that.
Let's see if we can do that.
Okay.
I'll put this close enough.
Okay, so this is the first song I wrote for the New Cup of Grace opera. It's called A New Cup of Grace. A patient said to me, well, no matter how bad things get, I get a new cup of grace each morning.
That was inspiration.
And so I set those little words with a portion of the 23rd Psalm. I get a new cup of grace each morning when I open my eyes. A new cup of grace is waiting with the morning sunrise, and my cup overflows. My cup overflows. I get a new cup, it fills me up. I get a new cup, it fills me up, and my cup overflows. My cup overflows. So I'm playing this in the wrong key because it's so noisy in here. I can't actually think. So I could sing the rest of it in a different key.
All right.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green meadows. He restores my soul. He restores my soul. And my cup overflows. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And my cup overflows. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord. I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen.
I would applaud, but I have to hold the microphone, so I can't. So have you been singing these in the hospital?
I have.
How has your chaplaincy experience been going?
It's
Tell us about it.
amazing.
You've been
It's amazing.
chaplain now for 4 or 5 months, 6 months?
Yeah, so I started at the end of August as a resident chaplain. I had done a year of intern chaplaincy at a different hospital, and now I'm at United. And at Fairview Hospital, I was working with patients who had cancer. And at this hospital at United, my primary floor is people who've had heart attacks and strokes and are in the ICU.
Wow.
And then when I'm on call, I do everything. So women who've lost babies, the emergency department where people come in with a heart attack.
Do you play music for almost everybody?
No, I don't.
How does that work?
I don't. So I also go up to the geriatric mental health floor, and I always sing with them.
Yes.
Because it's easy, and some of those folks are blind or
memory impaired. Or something.
Yeah. And so singing is really
Perfect.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
And we mostly sing. I did sing A New Cup of Grace, and we talked about that. But also we sing Amazing Grace and Good Day Sunshine and whatever.
Good.
Whatever people come up with.
Yeah.
My dad was a music professor, and so we grew up with a lot of songs in our heads. So, it's fun to be able to do that. And then occasionally, as people are dying, I'll sing with the family in the room if there's a song that would be meaningful to them.
Oh, wow.
So
that's nice.
That's what I do. But mostly I don't sing. It's just that I've set some of the stories patients tell me to music, and so I've been sharing those with other chaplains and other staff at the hospital and with other students. And it's kind of a way to think about how to get those stories out of your own heart and body, because you can get too sad listening to these stories. And so for me to set them to music kind of sets them free. And then I don't have to
dwell.
Yeah, I don't have to dwell there. That's right. So that's it.
Well, thank you, Emily.
Oh, you're welcome.
Emily, the Youngdahl Wright, you
I'm
dear
the
sweet
Youngdahl
person
Wright.
who
Thank you, Robert Stockman.
Forever grateful for all the things you've done. And
such a pleasure.
Pleasure to have you here again. It's a pleasure to see you again, and best wishes on your chaplaincy plans, your chaplaincy career. And
thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Robert. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great.